everybody.
Happy New Year.
Am I on? Am I on?
Yeah.
I'm always on. Happy New Year to everybody. How y'all feeling? Yeah, let me hear how you're feeling. Okay, good. Is there anybody here who's here for the first time today? Oh, go ahead and stand up, if you would, for a second. Doug, stand up. So I'll start here. Hang on. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Doug from Zoom.
What he means is he's in all the classes, but this is his first time. He got up at 5 a.m. in the desert to drive here, to be here. And you, sir?
My name is Richard.
Richard. And what do you do, Richard?
Well, I'm a musician, theater director, pianist.
Well, I got to tell you, your hair is fabulous. So you're a musician, a theater director, you're in the right place. Really?
Gina's recommendation.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Stay standing for 1 second. I'm going to ask a question, and I just want you to listen to what everybody says, okay? So we come here every Sunday as a spiritual community to do something. to do something. What is it we're here to do? So I'll go to you first, because you already know this answer probably. So what did you hear?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I didn't head anywhere.
That sounds good, yeah. Diction. I'm working on diction with everybody. Yeah. But Doug, so what did they say, Doug?
I'm here for bingo.
Did somebody say that? That's very funny. Why are you here? I'm here for bingo. That's funny. No, we are here because we come here on a Sunday to remind ourselves that right where I am, God is. So how does that sound? Right where I am, God is. Right where you are. So we have a gift for you, and this is the first time we're doing this. I'm actually giving out my brand new book that just came. Oh, the rest of you were like, I just bought it. But that is the brand new book, just came out a few weeks ago. Enjoy it. And then there's a card in there. Give me your email, and I'll write to you, and you can tell me what you thought of today. Okay? Doug has a book. Don't give him one. No, just kidding. Thank you for driving all the way here, though.
It's great to be here.
Yes. So now I'm going to invite everybody to stand up. And here's the thing about us here at this center. We are the very title of this song. Here we go. Yes? Here we go. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh! Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let's take it down. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. All right, now go say good morning to everybody. Gordon, walk around, meet people. Robbie Gilman. Okay, Aaron. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Okay, let's give it up for the band and their solos. Oh, Thor. Thor. That's okay. I don't have to give that talk right this second. So you don't really get a drum solo very often. So David, thank you. You also don't get a bass solo very often, so give it up for Eric. Now, we always get a solo from John DePatti, but that was amazing. And I had to really coax him today for Robbie to do a solo as well. Yes. Okay. So how is everybody? Everybody's good, yes? All right, let's take a deep breath. I'm going to invite up Mindy. So here we are at the beginning of a brand new year, the very first Sunday. We know what our theme is, more, even more in 24. Being the more in 24. I got a whole bunch of them for you today. But in order to really drop into who you are and to really tap into that field of more, you need to let go. You need to surrender. You need to be done with anything that no longer serves you. Show of hands, how many of you would like to let go of everything that no longer serves you? It's pretty good. And the rest of you? Well, here's your opportunity this morning. So just take a deep breath. Mindy and I are going to work through this.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day.
I am stronger every moment, every day. When I remember who I am, choose to love only, to forgive everything. Everything opens up. There is a clearer view of what life truly is, what it really means. The expression of joy, the expression of the intellect, of the mind, comes so focused when I just surrender and let go.
My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment of every day.
I let instinct be my guide. Not the relative human instincts that we know so well, but a divine intuitive instinct that tells me who I am, that reminds me who I am, how great thou art, each and every one of us, dropping into that wellspring of knowing, of understanding, of acceptance, accepting the truth that right where I am, God is. And when I surrender to that, everything does indeed unfold perfectly. Regardless.
There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down.
Letting go of regret, I invite you in this moment to let go of any regrets you have. I let you step into this clear path where a habit is only the positive, the habitual knowing that right where I am, the entire universe is moving through me, as me. Each one of us designing our lives on purpose, based on the truth of who we know ourselves to be. So we surrender anything unlike it and step into that full, perfect clarity.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good.
Everyone just take a deep breath.
I will release
Let it go.
any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day.
I am kinder.
I am more loving every moment, every day.
I am more loving.
I surrender every moment,
Take a deep breath in and surrender the breath. And now surrender it up to Mindy. Okay, now we get to surrender it up to Reverend Dr. Karen Oxrider. How nice that you're starting the whole year off.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to you.
And I have to say, we are all so grateful for you being on this stage.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's been a precarious few months, but yes, I am here. I am here. So, what is our new theme of the year and of this month?
More. More, bring it on, right?
Yeah.
Leaning into the more in 2024.
That's a new one. Leaning in. Oh, no, that's mine.
Yeah, is that yours?
That's not a new one. See, this week in ministerial, all the ministerial students, you didn't know this, all the ministerial students had to show up and give a 15-minute talk as though they were giving this talk, the first talk of the year, where they also mentioned their theme and their logo, their slogan.
Okay.
So I have in my talk, I have 6 or 7 of them to share. But that's a good one too, because I wrote that one. So yeah. So leaning into the more. So what is the more? When you hear more, because I know most of us, how many people here do not want to hear there's more for you to do this year? Oh, you're all good with that, except for Gordon. Okay, good. So what do you think when you hear that, more?
More. I think it's just being open to receiving whatever the universe provides for us, because the universe is always wanting the highest and best for our self-expression.
Do you think?
I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely do.
But how do we know that?
I think intuitively we know that. There's something deep inside that reminds us, that inner voice that says, lean into this, be open, be trusting, be worthy. You are worthy. I think it's a great thing to want and lean in more because I think it allows for us to evolve. Once we experience that more, or, in this teaching, we always talk about what we put our attention on expands. Good thoughts or not so good thoughts, but we have the power to create that reality. And I truly believe that when we state it and it comes up for us, then that's really the evidence that universe is right there supporting us and wanting us to evolve and be more.
It's funny, when I when I went on this health journey, it started in October, and the last couple of journeys that I just took, one of the things the doctor said to me was, he said, when this is all done, you're going to have more energy than you've had in the last 10 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck to you all. Because, and I was like, is that even possible? And he said, no, really, you are going to have more energy because finally there's going to be some blood and oxygen going to your brain. and I was like, well,
wow.
Okay. I'm still waiting. It's on the rise. But I thought about that, and I thought, well, that's interesting. So if we are not our bodies, but we are pure consciousness, then, because one of the things he also said was, I don't know how you've been doing what you've been doing for these last so many years. And I said, well, because I don't really think of my body as doing it. I understand that my consciousness is doing it, and that there is something beyond the body that runs the body. And it's been an interesting journey now, trying to fix what they say I need to fix with the body, but not getting involved with the mind being curious about that. My mind has to stay resolute, and that's what you're talking about. The mind staying resolute.
Knowing the truth.
Right.
And stating it.
Yes.
And you state it all the time. You stated it last week. You told me you were going to be here on Sunday. Right?
Yeah.
You state it all the time. And just some of you who are here or online, a couple weeks ago, Dr. James, right before Christmas, he asked us all to come up with our most favorite, or what was our number one Christmas gift.
Yes.
Remember? And he invited us to stand up, go to somewhere, share it, state it, what we wanted. And I did that. And later that afternoon, I rewatched the service with my dad. And I said, Dad, what is your number one Christmas gift? And without hesitating, he said, it's to see my wife, on Christmas Day. And I said, oh my God, that is the same thing I stated this morning.
For you to see your wife on Christmas
No, my
Day?
mom. And it was so important to us because we hadn't seen her for 3 weeks.
'Cause
She had COVID.
Right.
And then others in her community had COVID, and they weren't letting anybody come in and out to see her. But on Christmas Eve, we received the email that said, you're allowed to come and see her on Christmas Day.
So you got it.
I know, we stated it. And I really believe it's so important for us to believe in the more, to lean in the more, to state it and claim it and know that that is the universe providing for us and that we have that power.
Yep.
You have that power. You show us all the time that we can create our realities just leaning into it through your teaching. And through your words on Sundays. And
Well, thank you. I appreciate
No.
that. And I have a lot to share today.
good, right?
Yeah.
We're all ears.
Yeah. So shall we do our affirmation?
Yes, let's do. Okay. Our
Oh, that's it. That's where you got it.
Yeah. In 2024.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Let's stand up right off the bat.
Oh, Jim. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
She said, let's stand up, and he went, oi.
Okay.
You didn't know that was your outside voice speaking, did you? Yeah.
As we move into this new year, embracing all of it and the energy of this room and online and the success of our center, let us state this and claim this. I lean into the more.
How'd that feel?
Felt good. How did it feel for you?
It felt
Not
adequate.
adequate. Okay,
Yeah.
well then we have to
I
be
think
more.
right, Liza? We can go a little more, yes? Just imagine, everything you do, there's just a little more you can go. Just a little more. You ready?
All right.
Here we go.
I lean into the more.
Okay, everybody. Let's give it up for Reverend
Thank
Dr.
you.
Karen.
Mwah. Love you.
Okay. So, choosing a song to start our year is always so difficult. It's like, what do we really want to do to start the year off? And this year, ironically, it was really simple. Because when I first started in this teaching, well, actually, when I first started in the teaching, it was with Eric Butterworth, and it was with Unity. But when I came out to Los Angeles, and a friend of mine said, I want you to come hear my minister. And so he took me to see Dr. David Walker, Reverend David Walker at the time. And there was this Las Vegas lounge singer comedian speaking spirituality. And I was like, that's my idea of a minister. But I didn't know he really sang, because he didn't sing. He chose not to sing. He said, I don't sing. He always felt that once you become a minister, you put everything else down. He and I were a little bit like this on that. I said, no, I kind of think once you become a minister, you use everything you have to bring to it. So, and I think today he would probably agree with me. But then years went on, and he got his doctorate. And when he got his doctorate, he was going to sing. And I was one of the singers in the doctorate program. So he got up, and in rehearsal, I heard it for the first time, he sang this song, which is the perfect song for us to launch into 2024. And since Dr. Walker is no longer with us, and he probably wouldn't sing anyway for me if I asked him to, I went to the next best thing, my husband. So I'm not even going to tell you about the song because it's going to be part of my talk. So please welcome Kevin Bailey.
There is more behind the cloud than meet the eye. There is more than wings on birds that make them fly. There's more reason for the apple to fall down from the tree. There is more, there is more, there is more, and from everything that happens, we can learn. If the fire is hot, we touch the flame and burn. And we don't fall off the earth when we sail away from shore. No, there's more. There is more. There is more. And for all the blades of grass, there are days. And for all the leaves on trees, there are ways. And the sun will shine for all of us, no matter who we are. We are only on a journey to a star. There is more. There is more. There is more. There is more.
Kevin Mellon.
What a week, huh? And I just wanted to be up here to say that that beautiful song was written by the great Peggy Lee, who wrote the lyrics, and that extremely gorgeous, beautiful member of our
Paul,
community,
stand up.
the wonderful,
Just stand up, let everybody say it.
brilliant Paul Horner wrote that song.
That's a good way to start the year, isn't it, Paul? So it's interesting. As Kevin said, the lyrics were written by Peggy Lee. Most of you know. Who? Everybody knows who Peggy Lee is? Fever? Fever, exactly. Right. Next week is Fever. It's interesting how when the music and the lyric comes together, as it does in this song, there's really no difference between the lyricist and the composer, because together they have created this one amazing piece. And there's a lyric in the song, and Peggy Lee, by the way, was quite, obviously Paul Horner has been a religious scientist forever, but Peggy was too, and she was very, very integral in moving New Thought forward. in many of the lectures she gave and in the songs she sang. Even if you think about that one song, "Is That All There Is?" Remember that? That sentence alone, that's what she was constantly exploring. Is that all there is? Is this all there is? Is this what it's all about, this? So there's a lyric in the song, and it's this: "There is more than wings on birds that make them fly." Now just think about that for a second. We tend to think in a physical sense it's the wings on the bird that make it fly. But what's behind the wing making the wing fly? Because if you took the wing off and just laid it down, it's not going to fly. Something else is at play here. There's something going on that is more than just what we see. So what is that? What is this more that Peggy Lee was talking about? Let me get my slide thing so Thor doesn't have to do this. So what is that more that she's talking about? So our theme this year and this month is, or our logo, our jargon is, be the more in 24. But if you're going to be the more, you kind of have to know what the more is, right? So what is the more? What is it that's behind all of this? You know, what is it that made you all stand at the end of that song? Yes, it was Paul's song and Peggy's song. Yes, it was Kevin's amazing voice. And yes, it was the addition of the 3 silent singers over here. Right? And then put them all together, and it's all of those parts. But what is it really? What's behind that? What causes all of that to happen? That's the business we're in here, just in case you didn't know. What the Global Truth Center and churches around the world are all about. It's about delving into something that you can't see. It's about the intangible. It's about what's behind all of this. And we get so caught up in what's in front of all of this that we lose our way. And we let those things that are going on in our lives affect us. We react to it, good or bad or indifferent. And yet, what's behind it is infinite in scope. It never changes. So, as I said, the ministerial students came up with some themes for the year. I'm going to read some of them for you. Choose them if you like. One of them was make 24 like never before. That's a good one, right? I don't remember who said these. If you do, Thor, yell them out. That wasn't yours, was it? And then there's this one. Start for more in 24. Was that yours, Thor? Yes. Okay, then this one. Ready? Opening doors in 24. Yes? Good one? Okay. Let go and soar in 24. How about that one? Good one? Okay, good. And then the last one I'm going to do, which is kind of my favorite. Hear me roar in 24. Who wants to roar in 24? Yeah. Is Francisco here? He's not here today. That was his. No, he's not in France. He's still here. So last week I asked you a couple of questions. I said, what do you want to do with what's before you? Remember me asking you that question? What do you want to do with what is before you in this world? And then I also asked you, what do you want to not do with what's in front of you? What do you want to let go of? And we just did that with Mindy. What do you want to surrender? And then I asked you to look, do you have anything in your life that when you look back, you would like a do-over? And then I suggested there's no such thing as a do-over because you can't go back in time unless you're, Doctor Who in the TARDIS. You can't go back in time and do something over. So I wanted to reframe that from a do-over to do it again. Do it again, differently. Do it the way you want to do it, the way you wanted to do it, or the way you now know You would like to do it. So it was from do over to do it again. So when I left here on Sunday, I knew what was in front of me. I knew that 48 hours later, I'd be laying in an operating room being operated on. So that was Tuesday. And I knew that. I knew at the end of 23 what 24, how 24 was going to start. Now, the thing is, if you step away from the word surgery and you step away from hospital and doctor and cutting and all the stuff that went on, what you really get is I was going to start 24 clearing the decks. They were going to roto-rooter me into perfect flow. That's my science of mind way of looking at it. But we don't always go to the science of mind way, do we? So Monday was fine, New Year's Day was fine, and I was like, okay, this is good. I'm going to get it over with. I'm going to be done. I'm going to move on. Then Tuesday came, and everybody at the hospital was so nice and so pleasant, and they all really liked me. They really liked me. You know, and I had people laughing, and we're talking metaphysics, and the anesthesiologist told me he was sorry he was going to have to put me out because he'd love to talk to me some more about meditation, which I apparently was talking about. And then, boom, you're out, and you wake back up. That's how it goes, right, Peggy? You've been there. You know. So, and then I woke up, and now I'm laying in a hospital for 24 hours. Recuperating. And that's when the lean into the more started to really come to me. I was like, I don't feel like more. I feel like less right now. My energy feels less. I feel like, did it work? Right? Did it work? Even though I believe my life is unfolding perfectly. But did it work? Did it unfold perfectly? You know, and I'm laying there and I'm in a little bit of pain and I'm not really happy with the look of how it looks when they're doing these things. And I got all this going on. And as I was laying there, and then Kevin, who has been the most amazing spouse anyone could ever hope to have, who slept by my side all night, stayed in the hospital, but he had gone home to walk the dogs. So I was laying there alone and I was thinking, now I see what it's like when you have questions. Because I'm not a man of many questions when it comes to my faith. I'm pretty clear my life is unfolding perfectly. But these last, having 3 operations in a row, and just like, I don't like people cutting. I had a coronary arrest when I lost a molar. Really, I don't like the dentist taking out anything. So it was a little tough. So I was laying there, and I was thinking to myself, what do I need? Well, first of all, of course, I asked myself the first question, why am I here? It's nothing like when your own writing gets you back. Why am I here? And I'm going over this whole thing, and I'm like, what do I need? What do I really need? And so this prompted my talk title. Tell me that again. Because what I needed was a refresher course in science of mind. I needed to dive deep into what I knew to be the truth, that I was healthy, that everything happening to me was for the highest and best, no matter what. I know all of this, and in my heart, I knew all of this, but the physical side of it was showing me a whole different story. So I laid there and I thought, maybe this Sunday I won't give the first talk of the year. I'll let Karen give the first talk. And within 24 hours, that was out the window. I was like, I'm way too much of a control freak to let anybody do the first talk of the year. But I kept coming back to, what do I need? And I got this concept of, tell me that again. I needed to hear Dr. Walker again. And thank God I have cassettes of his. I needed to be reminded why I was standing on this stage. Why am I here? I could be anywhere. I could be relaxing somewhere. I needed to go back and ask myself, what is it that has you alive today? What is it? So I had to go back to basics. So I went back to the science of mind and spirit, to that book. Remember that book that we all read at one point? Yeah. I used to read that book every single year, top to bottom. I haven't done it for the last few years. I just started it again. Reading the science of mind from the beginning to the end. And there's a little thing in the back that shows you how to do it and where to go, how to get through that whole book in a year. But here's the thing. The science of mind is good. It's brilliant. It's Ernest Holmes' opus on what religion is, what spirituality is, what God is, what you are, who you are. It is amazing. But it was written in 1927. And for many of us, we're like, oh, I want the new stuff. I want quantum. I want what the new authors are writing about. But you know what I'm coming to discover? The new authors are writing about the same stuff. They are. They're writing the same stuff, just in a modern vernacular. Because what Ernest Holmes said makes amazing sense. He didn't have the proof. He just channeled that stuff from somewhere within him. And he was writing quantum before the word quantum was being used. So it really behooved me this week, to go back and start looking at, what was that again that he said? So I'm going to start with the foreword by Jean Houston. She said about the science of mind, this is a book for the ages. It contains the distilled wisdom of many eras, many cultures, and one great soul. To read it is to be changed. Well, frankly, I wanted to change again. I wanted to move beyond where I am. And I have taken this teaching. I have taken the science of mind, and I have expanded it, and I have pummeled it, and I have questioned it, and I have rewritten it. I have done so much to it. It was amazing that when I went back and read it again, I was like, you've done nothing. Because there it is. Exactly where you got to and where you're going was already there. You've just morphed. You've grown, as Ernest Holmes asked us to do. So I want to go over a few of the things, and it's funny, because usually in the first 4 Sundays of every January, we go over the first 4 chapters of the book. And that was not my intention. And yet here we go. So the study of the science of mind is the study of first cause, spirit, mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation, the thing itself. Want to give me one word that he's talking about? Consciousness, spirit. I'm looking for a word that's a little more divisive. God. Boy, have we taken God through the gutter. We have just made God a 4-letter word, and it's not. It's only 3 letters. But we have turned God into such a horrible, horrible thing. But you know why? Not because of the innate value of what God is, but because of what people have done with the concept of God. Yes. Right? How we've used it to fight one another. Your God is not as good as my God. Your religion's not the real religion. My religion's the real religion. And you know what? It's all a bunch of bull. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. The thing itself. And I love that he went there. He just said, you know what? You can give me all your excuses and annoyances about this word, but at the end of the day, there is something, first cause, spirit, mind, whatever you want to call it, back of everything, and it's exactly what Paul and Peggy were talking about. There is more. And we have to start realizing there is more. That thing behind the wings on the birds is God. It's the thing itself. It's whatever word you want to use. But it is the more. So when I'm saying we need to be the more, I'm asking us to start living this thing of I am God. I am this energy, but not the only energy. I am, as Ernest Holmes says, in 1959, I am of this. This is what I am. All of me is this. So I'm tired of us all worrying about walking around saying, I am God. I think we need to add something to that. I am God, and so is every living creature on this planet and beyond. That's the spiritual truth. So this thing behind the wings of the bird, Ernest Holmes called it something interesting. As I was reading this chapter, I was like, God, even this I've kind of sort of strayed away from, but not really. Because what Ernest Holmes called God is love. Emerson said that love is a synonym for God. God is love, love is God. But here we are in the quantum age. What does that mean? Well, it means that there is an energetic life force that's behind everything, that is more than anything we could imagine, that gives life and animates it all. So why not call it love? Why not be okay with calling it love? Because Ernest Holmes said it's love through law that creates our existence. So if there is this energy behind you that is back of everything, and it is the motivating factor, it is the animating feature of your life, and it's love and it's God, but it operates through this thing called law, which is inherently who you are. You are a lawmaker. Everything in your mind creates from this love because you think, and your thinking makes it so. Your belief makes it so, but your belief creates your thought. So if it's all love and it's all energy and it's all God, and there is this law that is inherent in this thing called love, and the law is always bringing you whatever you decide, that's the entire enchilada of the science of mind. He says we approach love through the law. We approach love through the law. Every thought you have, every desire that comes through you, every decision you make activates the law and lets love flow. That's how this works. It's really simple. So if I'm laying there in the hospital in my pity party, thinking that I don't know when I'm going to be able to open my shirt again to show the amazing chest that I've created, because I look a little like Frankenstein at the moment, what am I creating with that? What am I doing with that? Saying that somehow my body is who I am? What am I doing? And I had to ask myself that. I was like, okay, how much further, how much longer are you going to let this pity party go on? Because every second that you are thinking what you're thinking, believing what you're believing, maybe you believe you're less than. Oh, now I'm old. Oh, now I'm really going to look my age. Never. Now old age is going to creep in. All of those things, I'm sure anybody else have these thoughts occasionally? Yeah. So, really? She just went, ugh. So if I'm going to really let that be the way I am using love through law, create my life, I am completely screwed. That's what I got to, laying in that hospital. All of this while he's walking the dogs. It was very quick. But I did. I had to ask myself that. What am I going to do? So, within us is a mental law, working out the will and purposes of our conscious thoughts. Here's the most important part of that sentence: your conscious thoughts. There's a line in the book where he says, trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. And what he says is, your conscious mind is way more powerful than all the crap you have put into your subconscious mind. Because let's face it, we've been around a while, most of us, except for Emily, right? We've been around a while. But we have a lot of stuff that we still believe. We still have all of those things. But your conscious mind, your conscious thought is what takes precedence. That's what the law is listening for. The law wants to know, Bear, what you really want, not all the other stuff that's going on. The law wants to know, Stan, exactly what you've decided to do with the rest of this time you have. And then it gives it to you. For most of us, it gives us a mishmash of what we want, what we don't want, what we're afraid of, what we think we had happen before that will happen again, all of that stuff. So it's about taking control of your mind. And this is one of my favorite quotes of Ernest Holmes. Mankind, by thinking, can bring into his or her experience whatsoever one desires, if they think correctly and become a living embodiment of those thoughts. There is an if there. I want you to notice that. So it's not just mankind, by thinking, can bring into his experience whatever one desires. It's not like, oh, I'm going to think this and that'll show up. No, because are you embodying what you're saying? Do you absolutely believe wholeheartedly? That's for Pam Ninneman, wholeheartedly. That's her theme for the year. Wholeheartedly, that this is the truth. I really had to come to that. I truly had to come to that. You know, the doctors are all telling me, you're going to be more than 100%. And yet I still had this fight going on in my head. And I had to really ask myself, do I believe that I am going to be standing up here very shortly at 600%? And the answer is yes, because ultimately I already am. I already am, and my body will catch up. That's how we have to look at this, because my mind is what's creating my body, and I cannot afford to let my mind cheat my body out of the fabulous life it's about to have going forward. Right, Kevin?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, I want you to look at the word embodiment. What does that mean? Embodiment means you have eaten it, chewed it up, digested it, and it's now expressing itself. That's it. Are you embodying what this teaching is? Are you really embodying it? 2024, be the more in 2024. This is our year to really take this teaching and really solidify it so that we are living extraordinary lives, Carol. Extraordinary lives, because we know who we are. He also said this: all thought is creative, according to the nature, impulse, emotion, or conviction behind the thought. I love that image, by the way. So all thought is creative. So you know what that means, unfortunately? It means that everything you're thinking is having some kind of effect on your life. Everything you're thinking. What's that word? Everything, Lisa. Everything you're thinking has some effect on your life. But who's thinking it? You are, Robbie, right? No one's forcing y'all to think what you think. And you can blame people. You can blame your mother. How many people are still blaming their mother? You can blame all the people you want to blame for the way you think. But guess what? If you're over 18, it's yours now. It's yours now, right? You left home, and you should have left all those things behind you. So, all thought is creative. The mind which we discover within us is the mind that governs everything. This is the thing itself. And we should recognize its simplicity. If I had $1 for every single person that told me that reading The Science of Mind was torture, they're like, oh, it is so thick. It's because you look at it and you get tortured just looking at it. But if you just took a page, or if you took the little section that asks you to read every morning, by this time next year, you will have read the whole book and actually understood when he's saying here, we should recognize its simplicity. Our philosophy, our teaching, our religion, and yes, it is a religion, or else you don't get your tax deduction at the end of the year. All of that, that thing called the science of mind is so simple. It's so simple to live. We just have to decide to live it. We have to decide to be it, to truly, truly be it. So, where does that leave us? Knowing all of this today, where does that leave us? And I'm happy to use myself as an example. I rarely get up here and tell you I've had a crisis of the soul. Truly, I really do. I rarely do that. And I haven't really had a crisis of the soul. I had a momentary brain fart. You all know what those are, right? Yeah. So I did. And it did bother me. But all I had to do was lean in to the teaching again. I had to go back and ask myself, why am I here? What wants to know me? And what wants to know me is the simplicity of this teaching, not the complexity of it. I love our advanced consciousness class where we go so deep that most of us have migraines by the end of it. I love that class. But at the end of the day, the answer is simple. It's really, really, really simple. Kevin and I were doing accounting yesterday, and he had a very different answer to a project we were closing the year on. He had a very different answer than I had. Not surprising, when we first met, he would add up the bowling scores, I would add up the bowling scores. His score was actually the same as my score, but he was infuriated at how I did it because I somehow add bowling scores different than professionals do it. So yesterday, we're sitting there, and he has this figure, and I have this figure, and I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be avoiding stress, A, and B, we're about to go bowling again. And so we just sat there calmly, figured it out. It was so simple. We had to take all of the complexities of what we did all year in this project and really bring it down to, you ready? Income versus expense equals what's left over. Right? Yep. That was it. That was it. And as it turned out, it was my answer that was correct. So, but I loved how you did it. It was really kind of interesting. So the mind which we discover within us. Now, I want one more thing to tell you today. The mind that you discover within you. When we say there is one mind, there's one field of energy, one field of infinite intelligence, there is. We're all it. We are all in this fabulous mosaic of life. But each one of you, Marianne, you have an individual mind that uses all of it. That's the mind we're talking about when he says the mind we discover within us is the mind that governs everything. That's the I am God part. That mind that you have and that you're thinking with and making decisions with has at its disposal an infinite expanse of wisdom. There's nothing you don't know. There is nothing that any one of you in this room doesn't already have the answer to. The minute you lean into the more. Because as Paul's song says, and as Peggy's lyric says, there is more. And there is more. And there is more. So, this is what Ernest Holmes called this, man's greatest discovery. I just got to speak for 20 minutes on man's greatest discovery. The question is, did you discover it today? Did you figure it out today, how you're creating the life you're creating? What if today was the first day and you just showed up here and you heard this and a bell went off and you went, oh my God. Because that's what happened the day I heard David Walker. He said something and I was like, oh my God. That's the truth. That's the truth. And then I turned my entire life around. I stayed in Los Angeles. I was only here doing a show. I started taking classes. I became a practitioner. I became a minister, much to Kevin's chagrin. I opened a church. And here I am. Because that day, man's greatest discovery in the body of Dr. David Walker said something, and I went, yes, that's how it works. And then 30, 40 years later, I'm laying in a hospital going, what the, how, what, why? What do I need to know? And that came right through me. You need to remember. You already know it. You just need to remember who you are. Everything else will work itself out. So there's man's greatest discovery. How excited would you be if today's the day you realized it, really got it, that this is what it's all about. This is who I am. Today's the day. Namaste. Thank you. Okay, let's take a deep breath. I invite you to take out your contribution, your tithe. I want to thank you all for the number of you that did automatic tithing. Thank you. This year, you make it so much easier and so much more sound for this center to know what is coming in every single week. And you really help Doug Draper's blood pressure. It's very important to me. So let's all take a deep breath. Robbie, some pretty music. So I just want you to pay attention to what you are giving here. Understand how valuable you are, how important you are to this ongoing message, to taking man's greatest discovery and making it applicable in our lives, using it and spreading it everywhere we go. That's what you're doing here when you contribute. And I say thank you, knowing that it moves mountains. And so it is. Mindy?
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Please join along with us. I think we all know it by now.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. All that I have. I'm so blessed. So blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And in this moment, I just drop in and recognize the power, the creativeness, the energy of who I am, and how I share this gift with the world through my time, through my tithe, to my presence. I am all that, and this year I absolutely embrace the more. I lean in, knowing this is who I am, and we create the magnificence together. And so it is.
so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so it was, and so it is, and so it shall always be.
Good morning. It's Sunday, January 7th, and here are your GTC announcements. Coming up on the calendar, we'll be having our first Divine Dining and Doings event, and it's bingo. Today at 12 noon, we'll have bingo live here in Westlake. If you haven't bought your bingo card yet, please see Kevin Bailey after the service. Enjoy a bite to eat after service, then join us here in the sanctuary for bingo. If you've signed up to play online with us, you should have received your bingo card and the Zoom link. We'll start the Zoom link around 11:55 a.m. We'll see you later today for bingo. This coming Friday, join us for the first Soul Immersion event of 2024 right here in Westlake Village. It's the perfect way to start your weekend and 2024, so join us at 7 p.m. for Soul Immersion. Next Sunday, our annual meeting will take place on January 14th at 12 noon. All GTC members are encouraged to attend that day to learn what's going on in 2024 at your center. This event will also be live streamed for our members who join us virtually. We'll email the live stream link to all 2024 members this week. Finally, the Wisdom Women will have their monthly meetings on the third Sunday in 2024, so join them for their first meeting of the year on Sunday, January 21st, with their special presenter, Terry Morler. You can always find out what's going on by visiting our calendar on the website. To find it easily, just use your cell phone on the QR codes you see throughout the sanctuary. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. Go ahead.
First thing I want to do is give a wonderful hello and shout out to our dear Ann Monahan.
Yes.
Ann had a little slip this week, and we are sending her our love. So I hope you're watching us online today, Ann. We're sending you our love, and we miss you. Yeah, we know you'll be back with us soon. All right. So I was going to sing the bingo song. Remember that?
No.
There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, B-I. How do you not know that song?
I do. I was pretending I didn't.
Well, we might be singing it as part of bingo today, so you have
Okay,
all
well,
that time
you should
anyway.
do that.
All right, so if you already bought your bingo ticket, I have them printed out, so don't worry. And all of you playing in person, okay? And I do have more, as Thor announced.
And Stan Galperson brought a whole bunch of
pennies, and I also have red little discs for your bingo card, so not to worry about.
Wow, that's like so retro.
Logistics.
Yeah.
We have that covered, all right? So we're trying to start as close to noon as we can, so what we want to ask everyone to do today after service, because we have to turn this over and put tables in here, go and enjoy the community time downstairs, or at least, clear to the back of the house so we can strike this center section so we can get tables set up for the bingo game, and we'll try to start it at noon. There are snacks and coffee, as we always have downstairs. Not our full Sunday brunch, but Reverend Karen and Kirby and Marilyn have done some amazing work, and other volunteers to help us out with what Ann Monahan and her crew normally do on a first Sunday, but there is plenty to eat and drink and schmooze down there, and then come back up and join us for bingo, and I will be out in the breezeway right after.
Okay,
All right,
thank
that's
you.
it.
Also, next week is our annual meeting. I really invite all of our members to be here. We have 2 board seats the amazing Sherry Verson is completing her 6 years on the board, and Stan Galperson is completing his 100 years on the board. That's what he says it is. And both of them are like, we don't want to leave. And it's like, yeah, well, you can only do 6 years. You have to take a year off, then you can get back on. But we have 2 new members that we will be promoting to the congregation to vote on to fill out our board. We also have other things that we talk about during the board meeting, and it is the time during the annual meeting, and it is a time for you to talk to us and ask us questions and give us suggestions. So please be here next Sunday. I think that's it, right, Thor? Is there anything else? Consciousness on Demand. Is that you, Brad? And Audrey Larson, who went downstairs, right? So you're going to be? Upstairs. So Brad will be up here, Audrey will be downstairs. Take advantage of this, especially today, to really think about everything that's been brought up today. Go sit with them and tell them what's going on with you, and let somebody help you take your energy and shift it. Okay, anything else, Thor? All good. Okay, so I invite you all to take a deep breath. Is that bingo?
Bingo in a very spiritual way.
So here's what I know. I know that there is one divine melody that plays through all of life. And bingo is its name. Oh. That there is only fun, there's only joy, there is only love, and that this man's greatest discovery is that mind is to be used for the highest and best in each one's life. And so I say thank you for everything that has come today. Thank you to everybody watching online in Palm Springs, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Seattle, Wisconsin. Where else?
Virginia.
Virginia, of course, yes. Virginia, where? Texas. Ma Liza is in Texas, yes. Uganda, yes. All over the map, all over the globe, we say thank you for your participation, for you being part of this one big family. And so I just step aside, knowing that today has been a perfect gift, and I just let it be so, the gift that keeps on giving. And let it be so, as we say together, and so it is, oh. Okay, I invite you all to stand up. We started this with surrender. We're going to end it with surrender. Here we go.
There was a time in my life,
Tell us.
thought I had to do it all by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. And now I can say,
What are you going to say?
if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go.
Let it go, everybody. Let it go.
Let it all go.
Wow.
And this is what you've got to say.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here as God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here as God. No more struggle. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here as God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here as
Here we go. Have a great Sunday, everybody.